Hi guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan. This is an investing channel. I love talking about investing. I love investing for myself, but moreover, I really enjoy breaking down investing. So anybody that may be interested in entering into the investing world can tune into my channel and bridge a lot of gap that it's really difficult to know where to start. It's difficult to know how to circumvent or go around certain barriers that exist for a lot of people, man. They existed for me, and I know they exist for a lot of people out there, and I typically try to curb my attention toward the viewer, really try to provide a down-to-earth perspective, how I deploy my particular investment strategies. But I really try to break down why I do what I do. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of cash. And I know it's one of those topics that as a standalone is very shallow, okay? Cash on the side is boring, okay? It's losing money year over year to inflation. I understand that. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 things that really justify why I have the cash hoard that I do. Just a little over $80,000 of cash for my particular portfolio. Some have a lot more than I do, and some have a lot less. And I can tell you what, man, does money make you happy? That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I really think it's relative. I talk to a lot of people who are really grinding through, man. They're just normal people. They make a regular salary. Maybe they go and they work an hourly job. And those folks are happy as can be. And I also know some people that are pulling down 7 figures that are actually hating life and they're unhappy. All right. So the challenge that I have for each and every one of you guys is to find your number. Okay. Find the number that makes sense to you. And I think you'll find through this message, you'll identify through my perspective that having a no cash buffer is really not in line with what I advocate for, because here's the thing, the reality is that life is going to happen to you. And it sure is nice to do some pre-planning before those things happen. You can't account for everything, but certainly I've never ever been in a situation where I've looked at my cash buffer and said, that's a real hindrance to my life. More often than not, I often look at that and it gives me peace of mind, or it gives me the ability to get through some of those challenges that life will offer. So guys, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. You can be notified of the future videos that I put on the content. Let's jump right into it, guys. So as I disclosed, a little over 80,000 bucks, 82,000 and some change, right, that we've got just as the cash pillar in my account. Now, just a few ground rules on how I look at this. I defend this account with my life. This is not something that I go to very often. It is not an inflow and an outflow account. It is strictly an inflow account. What that means is I'm always trying to build that account and I'm always trying to protect it. Why do I offer that? It's because when the new 2020 Corvette comes out and you're tempted to just go drop 50 grand on it, that's something that doesn't enter into my mind. It means more to me to have a plan and a strategy than it does to fall victim to the short-term validation or the short-term satisfaction that you can get by just going out and making a purchase like that. Now, initially, sure, it would be nice, I guess, to drive a sports car, I guess. That's not really in line with what my goal is for future security and financial health in the future. But it's one of those things that I look at the cash pillar in my portfolio as being a critical aspect of the portfolio. And this is absolutely in line with my perspective as a self-directed investor, okay? You're gonna save so much saving on the expense and the fees that are traditionally assessed within retirement accounts that you can actually justify putting some pay dirt aside for a rainy day and then help you with buffering your investments. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit as I run through these 5 aspects, all right? The first reason to have a cash hoard, again, one that you determine appropriate for you as a single person, or you with your spouse, or you with your family, is going to need to be determined by you, okay? I could sit there and give you hard rules about recommended cash amounts to be on the side, 6 months, blah, blah, blah. I could regurgitate the Ramsey rules. I don't do that. Finances doesn't need to be defined in a box, okay? Finances can be free. Finances can be one of those things that you define specifically for yourself. This is why a lot of people pay a professional to get that comprehensive financial plan that is tailor-made for you. All right, that's the beauty of it. So I don't like to set up a lot of parameters and hard rules and X number of percentage put aside. That doesn't make sense, okay? Because the number that's going to make sense to you is going to be the number that allows you to sleep easy. And that is rule number 1. You have to be able to sleep easy, all right? Now, if I had all my money exposed to this stock market right now at an all-time high, I think I would have a little bit of anxiety behind that. I really do. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, Ryan, you've got 80,000, 84,000 in cash in the side. That's stupid. You know, you're getting behind every year with inflation. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. You want to know why? Because that's the amount that I have that allows me to sleep easy at night. It allows me to take some of the risks that I do in the portfolio, as little as I do take. It allows me to be as aggressive or as conservative as I want to be because I have that cash buffer, and it allows me to go on and live my life and not have to worry about being overexposed to the stock market. Very, very important to me, and I hope it's important to you guys. Number 2 is for unexpected expenditures, okay? I just made an investment in the channel for you guys with some new equipment. We're going to be upgrading the sound. We're going to be upgrading the lighting, and we're going to be upgrading the technology, okay? That is going to allow us to deliver such a better product. I really, really enjoy this, but if we're not providing crystal clear audio, crystal clear lighting, and crystal clear technology, then I don't think we're doing it as well as we need to, and I care so much about this channel to not put those investments, not only in myself, but also you as well. Because we really want to make sure we're providing that value. But those unexpected expenditures, man, I just had somebody hit my brand new truck, okay? It's going to cost me a $500 deductible for $1,000 worth of repairs for my new truck. That's unexpected expenditure, all right? Now, some of you guys may drive the truck with damage. I've had it for 5 months, and I refuse to do that out of sheer principle, all right? But the fact of the matter is I've got that cash buffer there to help me absorb some of those unexpected expenditures. Do I like to do it? No. Do I look at all options on the table before I go into my cash hoard and pull those expenditures out? Yes, I do. I do not like to do it, but I'll do it. And I really do tend to look at it like a loan from myself, and I'll work really, really hard to pay that money back and then some. All right? Number 3. Cash allows you to be prepared for a downturn, okay? Now, I talk about this all the time, and folks who have been invested for 10 years or less really cannot appreciate how violent the stock market can get and how quickly it can get there, all right? Now, a seasoned investor like myself can sit across from a new investor and say, those are your best opportunities in your life, and you're not going to have very many, okay? You're going to have a handful of them. The question is, are you prepared to take advantage of those downturns when they happen? A cash hoard allows you to do that. A cash hoard allows you the freedom and flexibility to strategically disperse those amounts in pockets, okay? Now, you don't need to disperse them all at once. I'm not advocating for catching a market that's a falling knife. I'm not advocating for that. What I'm saying is, if we get a 10% dip in the market, maybe you take a little bit of strategic capital and do some strategic buying. Maybe you dollar cost average with a little bit more amount, right? Maybe you supplement your monthly DCA amount and supplement that into the market because you've identified, well, it's down 10%, right? So you take a little chunk and allocate that to the market, all right? So it allows you to be prepared to be more strategic with your application. Now the money sits there static on the side. But if you're an opportunistic buyer like me, I look to take advantage and exploit down days in the market, especially when there are days where we're down over 500 points or even 1,000 points. Traditionally, I will be buying on those days, okay? And there's no better place that I would look for my cash hoard to maybe filter over a little bit and take a little bit more advantage of that opportunity when it's presented. Number 4 for me is a buffer to the market. This really does help me define my tolerance and buffer to my exposure rate to the stock market. This is an interesting one because there's a lot of portfolios that I've been able to review. A lot of people share their portfolio with me as I do with them. And my question is always, how much debt do you have and how much cash do you have on the side? That really is a very big tell for me in understanding what level of exposure they're comfortable with. Now, if you're in your 20s, you can afford to have a lot of your capital tied up in the stock market. You really can. But there is a caveat to that. You have to be able to go through the swings enough to where if you don't have a lot of cash buffer, that you're allowed or allow yourself to watch your money fluctuate up and down over time. Maybe even take advantage of a dip in there. But you have to have the discipline enough without that buffer. For me, at my age, I really enjoy having that cash buffer that's static. It helps me define my level of exposure and tolerance to the market by having that nice cash hoard in there, and also carry my aggressive tolerance to the market, all right? So the two kind of balance out. And finally, I just want to stress and drive home the fact that this cash I look at as a critical pillar in my portfolio. And I would encourage you guys to look at the same. As a self-directed investor, this differs drastically from what you'll get with a financial planner. Again, you're not going to go into a financial planner and have them recommend to you to keep a cash hoard on the side. They're going to give you all the spiel about losing money to inflation, et cetera, along the line, and that it's going to be in your best interest to take all of your life savings and dump it into the stock market in way of 2, 3, 4, or 5 mutual funds, okay? That of which all are going to incur expense, all of which probably are going to provide a kickback to the financial planner who sells you those financial products, all right? As a self-directed investor, you get the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective and justify having that cash hoard on the side for the reasons that I've just outlined, because you don't have somebody sitting across from you who is really bound to have your best interest in mind. The question you need to ask yourself is, do they? I contend on this program that the person who's going to have your best financial interest in mind should and always will be you. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, leave your comments at the bottom. Make sure I've hit the mark on this, hit the subscribe button. Share the video with anybody out there that you know is looking to get some baseline fundamental access to information on the stock market. We deliver on the Independent Investor channel. So good to be with you this evening. Thank you so much for joining in, and good luck in your investment future.